One day, the gates opened. No warning, no reason. Monsters poured out of thin air and the world went to hell in an afternoon. Humanity got exactly one cheat code, the system. It woke a chosen few as players, and the ones who walked into the gates and killed what came out got stronger, climbing rank by rank 1 star on up. The 7 great families and the constellations carved up what was left and called themselves rulers. And one man climbed higher than the system was ever supposed to let him. First to reach 9 star, the only one. That's where we find him. Kneeling in the wreckage, the city burning down around his ears. They came here for one reason, to kill him. Because the power he climbed to wasn't a hero's. It was a necromancer's, the undying king. And that, apparently, is the one thing the constellations cannot allow to keep breathing. Same kid, same orphanage, but the menu changed. Last life, the system handed him 3 doors. This time, there's a 4th, and it's the one that's supposed to be impossible. Necromancer. He doesn't deliberate. 2 skills light up. Raise undead, bone control, infuse magic into bone and move it like your own hand. Level 1. The undying king is starting over with a starter kit. He stands at a window, arms crossed, the city behind the glass, and he already knows it's not enough. Grabbing the necromancer this early, it's a good start. It's not enough. The thing that got him killed last time was the ceiling. I can't reach the 9th star, the realm of transcendence, not on his own. The peak of this world belongs to the ones a constellation chose. He has no constellation, so he's going to go get one. Which is how a teenager ends up at the edge of the world, walking into a pile of ruins. He passes the explorers at the broken gate without a word. This is what's left of a god, cast down by Zeus and the Olympians. Stripped of his temple, his followers, his name, forgotten so completely the tourists don't even know whose grave they're standing on. He came with one thing. A broken watch swinging from its chain. He sets it on the altar. This clock belongs to someone else. Light tears out of the stone. A colossus of frost and white hair rises into the sky, eyes burning gold. It's an honor to meet you, Kronos, the fallen king of the Titans. The giant's face fills the air, gold eyes narrowing. Which fool dares act so rudely before me? Waking me is no small feat. A pause. But why did you wake me? A slow grin spreads across the boy's face. Here's a man with a sales pitch for a god. Do you want revenge? The god's eyes flare red, the air going violent around him. A mere human wants to interfere in my vengeance. You really think someone like you can bring down, oh, limb, pus? A giant hand sweeps down toward the small figure. He doesn't flinch, because he didn't come empty-handed. He came with a loophole. Constellations form contracts by the nature of a soul, not by its strength. Kronos is the god of harvest and time, and the scythe that reaps the harvest is the same blade that reaps the dead. Harvest, death, both are cycles, ending into beginning, beginning into ending. Both defy the natural order, which is the polite way of saying a death, god, and a necromancer are the same animal. He picked this god on purpose. How dare you link me to death? A shockwave throws the boy back, one knee bending. Don't get ahead of yourself, mortal. He braces low, refuses to fall, and shouts up at the giant. This isn't the time for pride. His face lit blue, dead serious. If you're fine staying buried under, oh, limb pus forever, then go ahead. Do you really want to live without power or a name? The god goes still. The red drains back to gold. I came here thinking you'd choose revenge, even if it meant changing what you are. Join me. Let's take our power back and crush, oh, limb pus. Kronos' golden eye fills the dark, turning the god of harvest into something that defies nature, huh? A vast golden hand opens toward the small figure. You understand that reversing your nature will bring immense pain? Then prove you can become the force behind it. Light pours off the god's palm and slams into the boy. Endure it, and I will become your guardian star. Golden fire crawls over him. Black energy claws up through it, the dark power of a necromancer and the holy element of a saint colliding. Two opposite forces, fighting in one body, death and the divine, refusing to share a soul. So he does what he did with the curse. He stops fighting it, he just holds. And then a kid walks out of an airport like nothing happened. He lived. He went toe to toe with a titan and walked it down to a handshake. A tiny version of Kronos floats at his shoulder now, white hair, beast face, arms crossed and sulking. You sure talk a lot. The king of the titans, reduced to a pocket-sized passenger with an attitude. A god king forced into the role of a reaper by the blade he carries, riding shotgun with the one mortal who finally called him back. The spirit leans in, smug. You're going to spread my name far and wide from now on, aren't you? A blue system window snaps open in front of him. He startles, sweating. Something on that screen wipes the smirk off his face. A new place. A sun. Drenched, overgrown glade. The ancient garden. He looks it over, and the grin comes back, settled, certain, the perfect place to test my new power. A hole in the world cracks open downtown, a gate, a doorway that connects to another dimension. The fixed kind. It doesn't drift, it sits there, permanent, bleeding monsters into the city the way they've been bleeding since all this started. This one's small, ancient garden. 1 star clearance, the sort of beginner dungeon rookie parties cut their teeth on. Boss and core at the bottom kill both, the door closes. For the man who died as the world's first 9 star, it's a tutorial. A party clocks him standing alone and does the polite thing. If you're alone, would you like to join us? The short-haired woman frowns. You look like a brand new hunter. Are you sure you're okay alone? The faint start of a grin. At this level, being alone is more than enough. He turns them down, they shrug it off and write him off. I'm going to test out my new skills. Inside, it's a garden, quiet. A branch snaps. A yellow-skinned, red-eyed goblin lunges out of the brush, mouth open, screaming. Prey is a goblin, right on schedule. He doesn't dodge it, he catches it. Holy power tainted by death. A saint's blessing run through a necromancer. It doesn't heal, it eats, it drinks the life straight out of whatever he's holding. The goblin slumps, a withered husk, his eyes lit blue. Thanks for going out of your way to come get killed. The numbers move. Strength plus 1/10 of a point, agility plus 1/10. Per corpse. He does the math out loud. A level up only gives 5, and a single kill just handed him stats a level wouldn't. So every single thing he kills in here stacks on top of leveling. He's planning to kill a lot. The bodies start piling up at his feet. Then the dead start talking back. A tiny, floating, familiar white hair and beard, gold-trimmed robe, arms thrown wide. Contractor, do you like it? Praise me. Praise my greatness. Green light curls off his fingers. His face does not move. Well, I have no choice but to. The necromancer side of this doesn't just drain the dead, it recruits them. Green energy pours into a goblin on the grass. A hand twitches. The thing he just killed gets back up, eyes blown white, wreathed in green. Now it works for him. Reinforcements arrive, living ones. Arms crossed, his dead soldier coiled and ready beside him. I'll treat this as a perfect practical test. Go. His undead wades into the pack and won't go down. A living goblin recoils, terrified. What's wrong? Did you get scared because it didn't die? Hard to fight a thing whose health is already gone. He reaches into the brawl, green light snaking toward a downed goblin. Let's see if I can absorb the vitality of something already dead. The drain doesn't care if the target's still warm. Strength plus 1/10. Agility plus 1/10. His grin goes slow and sharp. Kill it. Raise it. Drain it again. Raise it again. A necromancer never runs out of fuel. That's what makes one the best. One corpse becomes a squad. A squad becomes a flood, a wall of pale undead, green aura, weapons in hand, tears the goblin pack apart, the first prey in a beginner dungeon. and he's already running an army. A single blue moon over the trees. He stands on a hill of his own dead green fire curling from both hands. You have reached the maximum limit of controllable undead. There's a ceiling on how many of the dead one Necromancer can hold at once. In a tutorial dungeon, on his first run back, he just hit it. Then his army stops dead. His head snaps up, a whoosh, then ignition, the blonde archer from before, drawing an arrow swallowed in flame. Fire arrow. Someone's shooting at him. The party he turned away didn't leave. The little familiar squints at them. What is it? His eyes narrow. I thought I recognized you from somewhere. The three hunters step out of the trees together. The twin shadow hunters, the ones who killed him. In the life he already lived, before he rewound, these are the people who assassinated him. And here they are, walking up to do it again. Two hunters work this forest, twins, renowned. The twin shadow hunters, Yuna and her brother, the kind of name that opens doors back in the city. Out here, none of that matters. What matters is the guy they keep glancing at, because something is standing at his back that should be lying in the dirt. That zombie, are you controlling it? Yeah, it's my summon. A pause, like he's deciding whether they're worth the words. I needed something to carry the baggage. A man raises the dead, and the first job he gives it is luggage detail. He leans in like he's pitching a side hustle. Want to work with me? I'll take down the enemies. You two make some easy money. I keep the magic stones. The split's 80-20. How about it? Their whole reason for being out here is money anyway. He didn't guess that. He read it off them like a page. The brother turns half away, jaw tight. We can't trust a guy like that. He wanted to dive a gate with no equipment, no armor, nothing, and he's got absolute confidence on top of it. Yuna doesn't argue the danger. She does the math, but if we follow him, we'll definitely earn more. So they push. 70-30, or they walk. He shrugs. Fine. Senpai, are we really okay with this? Understood. They go. And then the carry begins. Monsters drop before they finish turning toward him. The twins don't get to fight, they get to watch. This is way beyond what I imagined. I knew he wasn't an ordinary guy, but that guy isn't human. Yuna lowers her bow because there's nothing left to shoot. He isn't draining himself out there. He's draining them, green threads of life pulling out of every dying monster and straight back into him. Life drain. Every kill tops him off. Hey, over here too, and here. They're not calling him to help anymore. They're calling him to slow down. Take a break soon. He doesn't need one. The forest goes quiet. His status unfolds in his hand, 5 points on a star. Strength, agility, vitality, endurance, and the one a necromancer isn't supposed to be lighting up holy power. My level went up, basically on par with a level 4 now. Life drain is just too efficient. He says it the way you'd read a receipt. I suppose it's time to go kill the boss. The goblin shaman is the boss of the south. It might be better not to provoke it too much. He's already provoking it. The goblin numbers are already falling. The goblin shaman. Red, skinned, hunched on a throne of rock, a long staff in its fist, and crowning that staff, a human skull lit from the inside with red fire. It carries its power on a stick of bone, and the skull on top is burning. A foolish human has arrived. Its mouth peels open. Strip that human right off his bones. It raises the skull staff overhead. Answer my call. A horde of goblins surges up around it, jerking upright, eyes gone red. That's the trump card. It doesn't just command goblins, it controls bone. The staff is made of it. Every dead thing in this forest belongs to it, which would be a real problem for anyone who wasn't already the best in the world at exactly that. He answers the army by taking it. The corpses around him stop twitching toward the shaman and start twitching toward him. The fallen goblins stop being the boss's soldiers and stand up as his. A skull-faced bone goblin rises at his shoulder, green fire in its sockets, a weapon already in its dead hand. The shaman's roar cracks into something higher. He steps in and shatters the burning totem. The totem of madness has been interrupted. A mere human destroyed my totem. Yeah. The one trick it had, and a mere human did it cleaner. Like I'd let you do that. His eyes are cold and certain, a skull floating at his side. What's wrong? Frustrated. Why don't you try calling your precious goblins again? The goblins turn toward the shaman. He stands among the boss's own dead, every one of them looking back at him now. The goblin shaman built an army out of bone. It just met the man who invented that. A goblin charges, red eyes, all teeth closing fast. Use that sorcery you're so proud of. Somebody behind him says, half a dare. One sound answers. The goblin folds sideways and drops. The kid standing where it died is 23 years and one whole lifetime ahead of everyone in this dungeon, and he is bored. What did you do? Nobody on his team can keep up with the question. He doesn't loot the body. He crouches over it and harvests it, the blood drawn off into a vial until it runs dark red, the mana stone, whatever the thing was carrying. Almost used all of it. He flicks a hand at the rest of the mess. The cleanup is somebody else's problem. Pull back, and you see what the cleanup actually is. A field of green corpses in every direction, more than 4 hunters could ever account for. At the gate, the crowd does the math out loud. That massive amount of mana stones. You're saying just 4 people defeated that many monsters? No, that's impossible. They're right. 4 people didn't. 1 did, and let the other 3 stand in the photo. Back in the city, on a park bench, they settle up. Out of everything they hauled, he reaches for the one piece nobody else at the table can even use. A staff topped with a skull, a thing built for spiritual power a priest's hands can't hold. The junior in the green armor pushes back. We worked pretty hard, you know. His eyes cut sideways, one sharp look, and that settles it. Deduct it from my share. Then, to make a point nobody asked him to make, he raises a corpse out of the grass like he's stretching, a green lit skeleton standing up at his word. They line up to dive with him again tomorrow anyway. I'll follow my senior's lead. They have absolutely no idea who they're following. The next day, he comes back without them. He didn't need a party. He brought his own, alone in a field of flowers, skull, staff in hand, a small white-haired spirit drifting at his shoulder, and behind him, a ring of green, glowing undead, dozens of them, cold fire pouring off everyone. This is the ancient garden north side. Living goblins come screaming out of the green, and his dead meet them halfway. He doesn't swing. They do. When a frogman lumbers in with a red gem burning in its chest, he doesn't go for the body. He aims a skeleton straight at the one soft spot, the core, and drives it through. The gauge in the corner of his sight is already moving. Spiritual power, 35%, continuous consumption in progress. His jaw tightens, sweat runs, the staff trembles in his grip. Consumption's too high, moving the staff and raising undead at the same time. Turns out an undead army runs on a fuel gauge, and his is dropping. Just you wait. Mage King. Then he plants the staff and calls them up. A whole second army of green-lit frogmen heaves out of the ground around him. Every monster he kills doesn't leave the field. It enlists. He sits on a broken stair to rest. The spirit drifts close. What do you intend to do? In his palm, a frogman's heart. His other hand tips a vial, and blood beads down onto it. I want to concentrate. Stay quiet. He's testing what happens if he drops a goblin shaman into a frogman's chest. Nobody taught him this. He's just done it before, in a life that hasn't happened yet. 2 star. A vast ruined coliseum opens around him, the spirit floating, his undead flanking him on the sand. Couldn't get in last time. This time I walk right through. A door that took him years to reach, opened years early. Something else walks through with him. A massive clawed foot slams down onto the arena floor and the whole place shudders. His face sets, one bead of sweat, eyes up. A towering blue, scaled, horned dragonian rises to its full height over him, all muscle and crawling lightning. It looks down at the small figure with the undead at his heels and decides what he is: new prey. The windows confirm the terms. A dragonian has appeared. Time limit 10 minutes. This trial has a participant limit. 1 person, 10 minutes. No other hunter allowed in to help him, and none he'd want. Just him, his dead, and a dragon that looked at the most dangerous thing in the room and called him dinner. It's the last time anything in here calls him prey. The old man who came to kill him last life is back, only this time he's running the test. I suppose I'll have to start looking for a new saint. These are the ancient trial grounds, built by the Dragon Legion so the constellations of the Pantheon can pick out their best hunters. Survive 10 minutes, get paid. The man judging him has already done the math. With that power, you won't last 10 seconds. Out of the ground comes the catch. A gray, towering, draconian blue eyes lit, filling the Colosseum. Elite Dragon Legion soldiers, dialed down to 1, star to keep it fair. Fair for a normal rookie. He is not a normal rookie. He's a dead king wearing a teenager. He raises one open hand, a blue band on his finger. I'm all set now. Bring it on. A skull goes up in his grip, and green-toed corpses crowd up around his legs, eyes glowing. He doesn't draw a sword. He raises the dead. The bearded watcher folds his arms, faintly amused. Impromptu modification, is it? The old man already knows what he was, a 9-star necromancer, so he watches. He wants to see the trick. Here's the trick. Turning them undead cost them their strength and their speed. It turned everything they had left into poison. The toad corpses leap clamp onto the draconian, drag it down by the limbs, and green acid starts pouring down its hide, eating into the scales. Poison acid, level 12. They were never meant to win the fight. They were meant to dissolve it. A deep, ragged roar. The draconian thrashes, blue eyes blazing, refusing to drop. Enduring the poison, this one's tough. Green light wreathes the dead king, the skull steady in his hand. Now, go. A fist of green corpse, light closes around the dragon, and the poison floods everything. The roar cuts to nothing. The great draconian on its knees in the dust, head bowed, dead still. 10 seconds, he said. See? Told you, didn't I? Ancient trial grounds cleared. A reward sigil lights up, the crest of endurance. And he is not looking at the reward, he's looking at the corpse on the ground behind him. A draconian is the best raw material there is for raising an undead, and one just died at his feet. He didn't come here for the prize. He came shopping. And the prize was the receipt. I'll make something even stronger out of this. But for that, I need alchemy tools. A quiet rooftop, daylight power lines, a ruined skyline, Saitama Prefecture, then a muffled boom, and a building blows out, fire and debris. Whoa! Which is how he ends up here, following an explosion to its source. A blond man in a lab coat staggers out of the smoke, coughing, soot on his face. The man who lit it is the one he's after. The first person alive to crack a formula for mass-produced, mid-grade potions. Japan's #1 alchemist, the great alchemist, Shintani Renya, found you. The alchemist flinches back. Do you mind if I ask who you are? I'm Chinen Ryuga. He already knows the exact secret this alchemist is killing himself over. A formula to stabilize a mid-grade health potion so volatile it keeps detonating on the bench. Years of work this alchemist won't finish for years yet. A wall of colored vials sits behind him. Red, blue, violet, every one of them a failed attempt. He extends an open hand, the dark ring on his finger. Let me use your equipment. I'll help you. It'd be a win-win. The alchemist just stares. So the dead king rolls up his sleeves. A blade draws a clean line across his own forearm, and a bead of red wells up. He bleeds himself into it like it's nothing. He lifts a small vial, the contents glowing red and steady. About the formula? Yes, absolutely. The red potion holds perfectly clear, no longer churning. Did it really succeed? The thing that's been detonating in his face for years just sat still in a stranger's palm. He came for a lab. He's walking out with the lab and the man who runs it. A blonde researcher in a lab coat holds up a vial of something red and makes Ryuga an offer he didn't ask for. Ryuga has his back to him, already heading for the door. I only came here to borrow some alchemy tools. I'm changing the terms. How about you work with me? I'll teach you potion recipes and plenty of other things. From now on, you're my servant. No, he corrects himself, smiling. His partner. He doesn't believe a word Ryuga's worth. He flicks a slim tool and a little reaction sparks, a small show of what he can do. You're hesitant to sign because you don't know what I'm truly capable of. So why not help me out and see for yourself? Here's where the dead king's gift earns its keep. Ryuga looks at him and hears what's underneath the pitch. Betrayal and obsession. I feel like I just heard his inner thoughts. The smile is a sales pitch. The man wearing it is something else, and now Ryuga knows exactly what. So Ryuga helps him out. Carve the bones, imbue them with curses, take the corpse for a catalyst, and do it again. Again. The researcher meant to teach. Instead he stands there watching a one-star do in days what should have cost him years, and the doubt drains right out of his face. He's definitely the right man for the job. A finished potion poured thin and clean. A whole shelf of completed vials catching the light. One of them restarted from a corpse's heart, the thing brought back to beating with nothing but mana. It only took 3 days after all. Something that would have taken this man 2 years. Just who is this guy? Finished. A dark core, faintly glowing, resting in his palm. The researcher tries one more time to make it his deal. Are you sure? I'll accept your original proposal. Your original proposal. 60-40. The man who walked in wanting a servant just got talked all the way back down to the offer he started with, on Ryuga's terms. You called for me? Just wanted to pay a visit to an old acquaintance. Another job near the border. Ever since a gate broke open out here, the woods crawl with things that want you dead. So he doesn't come alone, a woman with a crossbow, a man behind a tall shield, and Ryuga at the back like he's just along for the walk. You can relax with us, sir. Rookies. Calling the deadliest man in the forest, sir, and meaning take it easy. Dangerous! A low, guttural roar. A hulking gray-green orc heaves up out of the brush, red-eyed fists like cinder blocks. A 2-star. Way over their heads. Ryuga's hand drifts to a pale bone white weapon at his hip. Guess this is a chance to test these processed ones. Processed ghoul bone, a masterpiece made by processing bones entwined with spirits into a magic tool. His blade used to be alive. Twice now. Do you still not believe in my strength? The orc charges, fist cocked. One clean cut. A teal edge carves up through it, and the blood comes after. I was aiming for the heart. The shield man gapes. The crossbow woman freezes. A rookie just dropped a 2-star in a single stroke. You're younger than you look. It hits the ground like a felled tree. Ryuga's already standing over the body, calm, flicking the blood off the bone. Nice timing. Bone control. He didn't kill it to keep anyone safe. He killed it because he needs the bones. He's walking before they've caught their breath. Don't just stand there. Keep up. This is where the real work begins. They thought this was a courtesy call. Huh? But you said you came to pay your respects. He did. The old acquaintance is inside that orc village. Smoke over its walls, armed orcs at the gate, spears out. Yeah. That person, the orc he just killed, shudders, wreathed now in teal fire. A hollow, undead groan rolls out of a throat that stopped working a minute ago. Behind him, the dead 2-star drags itself upright, towering, glowing necrotic green, bound to him now. The kid, the world wrote off as a 1-star, just stood a 2-star orc back up and walked it toward the gate. Most people, the first time a corpse stands up and looks at them, run. Chinen Ryuga checks the label, zombie. Useful. He turns his back on it and walks, and the dead thing falls in behind him like a dog. He's running with a hired party now, deep in a monster forest, a woman with a bow, a man behind a heavy shield, a horned, lizard-tailed fighter. He's spent the whole trip selling them on the upside. Plus, we can make some money on the side. Isn't that great? They keep agreeing. They also keep flinching every time his pet corpse exhales. Every kill out here, he doesn't just clear it. He recruits it. Each thing that dies in front of him gets up again on his side, and his own numbers tick up half a point at a time. Strength, vitality, level up. I guess that's enough hunting for today. Around the campfire, the bow woman is impressed. You're well prepared. She doesn't know the half of it. He never takes a watch shift. His dead ones don't sleep. Two massive undead orcs stand at the tree line all night, facing out into the dark while the party snores. Somewhere along the way, the monsters became the camp mascots. While they sleep, he reads. The system unlocked something new for him tonight, and it's already told him he can't open most of it yet. Here's what it gave the first 9. Star Necromancer in history. Become a Necromancer today. The ABCs of Necromancy. You can do it alone. Your first Necromancy. Super Beginner Edition. His eye twitches. A guide for 1 stars. When I already reached 9 star, the man who broke the rank ceiling handed the activity book. He hates it. He reads it anyway. Well, I still have to read it, I guess. The beginner book worked. Of course it did. New skill acquired. Morning. The horned fighter jolts awake mid-yawn. It's morning. Wake up. Then the party scrambles back, pointing, eyes wide. The armor. His body got bigger too. Overnight, his undead changed. Ryuga gives them half a grin. I modified it a bit. This isn't a pet anymore. It's a unit. Rank on rank of undead orcs taller now, plated in pale bone armor, blue fire burning where their eyes should be, a wall of them, and one small man standing in front. It's about time we head to the orc settlement. The target is a living orc stronghold. A wooden fortress, walls manned, spears up, archers ready, the alert flashes red, enemies approaching, his dead crash into their living in a surge of green light. A teammate swings a red battle axe. The bow woman looses. On the walls, orc archers draw, and the sky goes black with arrows. The shield bearer plants himself, a glowing barrier flares, and the volley shatters off it in a storm of sparks. The wall holds. The horned fighter stares. Ryuga just folds his arms. Not bad. Quite useful, right? It's going to grow even more from here on out. The bow woman's arrow catches fire and punches an orc off its feet. Charge. His armored orcs surge forward as one, and the living ones break. Terror, plain on an orc's face as it backs away. They're completely terrified. Reading those books last night paid off. His bone-plated orcs grapple the living ones hand to hand. Ryuga raises one open palm. Armor repaired. Durability up 20%. A battered orc's cracked plate knits itself back together mid. Swing. His soldiers take damage. He patches them in real time and sends them back in. They don't tire. They don't break for long. Then the worst one. He pulls the meat off his own dead and turns it into a wall, squirming flesh that crawls up and pins the enemy where they stand. The spear fighter teammate watches, sweating, and swallows hard. Ryuga walks through the carnage like it's a hallway, his orcs flanking him, fallen enemies at his boots. This person isn't just simply strong. His skill usage is in a league of its own. He's winning a siege with a textbook he read last night and was furious about an hour ago. Then the battle noise drops out. One heavy breath. Something bigger was always inside that fort. It rises over the field, a scarred slab of muscle, eyes burning red, a heavy axe hanging from one fist. It straightens to its full height, towering over the dead. A red warning window snaps open, its danger triangle blaring. Ryuga almost smiles. Finally, I was getting tired of waiting. The orc just turned itself into a bomb. Skin gone gray, eyes burning red, steam hissing off it. Berserk mode, burn your own life for one last surge of strength. 6 of them at once, frothing, swelling, ready to die for the chance to kill him. And the young man across from them, brown hair, hand resting under his chin, looks like a man waiting for an elevator. Finally, I was getting tired of waiting. No sword, no spell circle, green-black light coils up off his arm, and pale bone blades simply form in the air, points turned outward. Bone control. He pulls it out of nothing and aims it at 6 berserking monsters. He crouches, both hands wreathed in teal fire. Managing 6 really drains my mana. Quiet. I have to pierce the heart in a single blow. A bone spear punches clean through an orc's chest. The body folds. Another one tries to bull past him, jaw wide, roaring. Hey now, I can't let you do that. Bone's snares whip up around its legs. You aren't the only one who's going to die today, flat. Don't be so pessimistic. A huge orc kneels in the dust, half a dozen white spears driven through it, arms hanging dead. 2 of the others break and run for the trees. You really think I'd let you get away? A snap of bone, then nothing. An orc village reduced to bodies and broken ground. He stands alone in it, still smiling, and for 1 second a teal flame burns behind his eye, the same one the ring of dark gloom lit up. The Necromancer's, his hand, the dark ring on his finger, closes around a long, curved war, axe lying in the blood. This is the real prize. 3 hunters walk up behind him, a woman with a blade, a man with a shield, a blonde at his shoulder, crouching over scattered green mana cores. I wonder how much all of this is worth. He lifts a hand without turning. Yuma, I'm leaving this to you. Handle the loot too. Clearing that village was effort. Go get some rest. The blonde grins. Yes, sir, we'll gather all of it. I'm counting on you. His crew thinks the job's done. For them, it is. He turns away alone, the axe over his shoulder, walking toward a ridge. Found you. He stops at the foot of an enormous dead tree, bone gray, clawing up into a red sky. This is what he actually came for. He breathes out, then his head comes up, and he's grinning, firelight on his face. And he didn't come here alone. Let's have a little chat. From the base of the dead tree, a darkness peels up, a towering wraith of black smoke and armor, 2 red eyes opening inside it. Something answers from in the wood. He raised it himself. He looks up at it, calm. Sora Kashiwagi, the mage fighter. The red eye narrows, smoke lashing off it. How do you know my name? Harder. Who are you? Fair question. The man asking it has been dead for 35 years. We fought side by side once before my regression. There's no way I'd forget you. A tall stone monument rises out of the dark, 1 word carved across it, a cenotaph. You're the hero who held the front line 35 years ago. The one who stopped the monster wave from breaking south. The wraith goes still, almost grateful. So my death wasn't in vain after all. 35 years back, this is how he spent his last night, a wall of flame. Hunters with blades and shields holding a line against a mountain-sized white ogre under a full moon, a man with dark hair and a visor, a field radio jammed against his ear. We can't hold any longer, requesting backup, send support immediately. A man seen from behind, gray hair, calm. The answer comes flat. That right? No backup. The hero screams into a dead radio while the fire swallows everything behind him. His subordinates claw at him. But, sir, he'd already done the math. Hold the gate, and the civilians and the main force get out clean. Pull back, and the south burns. He turns to face the ogre alone and raises his weapon. 1 heavy impact. Then nothing. A body skids across scorched ground and goes still. He held the line. The wave broke on him. The main force walked out through the northern gate without a scratch, and the man who refused him support let the front collapse on purpose, because he'd bet the whole battle on the one thing he knew this hero would never do, Abandon them. Back to now. The wraith, red-eyed, silent. The young man's face, a gold star burning in his eye, a small grin pulling at his mouth, and after you died a hero, flat. Every record of you was erased. The wraith's smoke shudders, a low rasp. I wouldn't be able to rest in peace like that. No, you wouldn't. The wraith waits on an empty road, and he walks toward it, the axe loose in his hand. I'll help you get your revenge. Everything drops out. How about making a contract with me? Lower and becoming an undead? Last time, he woke a dead king. This time, he goes shopping for a soul. A hand wreathed in green light reaches down out of the dark. I've even prepared a vessel to house your soul. Chinen is standing over a huge white husk of bone, hands in his pockets, holding a body open like a job offer. And the thing he's offering it to isn't some mindless monster. It's a hero. A black, spike, armored giant hung in the firelight, eyes a dull, beaten red. As expected of a hero, the fight has been burned all the way out of him. In this state, revenge never even crossed my mind. Beaten this far down, the man strung up in the smoke has nothing left to swing back with. Do whatever you want with me, but I have one condition. Whatever that condition is, Chinen doesn't blink. Got it, I promise. Very well. The giant starts coming apart into black smoke, those red eyes the last thing to fade. I'll become your undead. A blue line of light slides across the dark. You have gained ownership. And just like that, a hero belongs to him. This is what crawls back out of the smoke. A horned, gray, scaled dragon man, broad as a door, looking down at a kid in a jacket. Race undead. Eldritch dragon. Strength, 205. A skill called God, fighting breaker. A pair of eyes the system rates near the top of the alphabet, and a note that he can still grow from here. Last time around, Chinen stuffed this exact soul into a plain skeleton knight. He just upgraded the afterlife. How's the body feel? Not bad. Better than the last one. That's a trait he didn't have back when I stuck him in a skeleton. He's reading his own resurrection like patch notes. Then the dragon does the one thing a freshly raised eldritch horror really shouldn't. He gets picky. Want me to call you by your real name? What? I've thrown that name away. I want a name that intimidates people just by hearing it. So they brainstorm. Serpent, generic, Tiamat, black dragon that's pushing it a bit far. How about Fafnir, a dragon from Norse mythology? Feels generic, doesn't do it for me. Nothing good is coming to mind, and he refuses to just be called lackey. Hold it, hold it. A 200 strength undead dragon, and his real crisis right now is that he's standing around basically naked. They throw a cloth on him. Then we're off. We're heading back to Tokyo for a bit to sort the items. He brings the dragon indoors. People in white coats scatter. Huh? What is that? No, he's my partner. And one of them, a blonde kid in glasses, is not scared at all. He's thrilled. What's next? What's next is a lesson. A green-skinned orc chieftain is laid out on a table, and Chinen crouches over it with that thin little smile. Green light pours off his hand. The corpse rears up, jaw stretching wide, lit from the inside. Second career. Extract. Gloved hands lift a clean white arm, the last of the flesh running off the bone. A full skeleton builds itself and stands up behind a tall shield. Skeleton guard, built for defense. Every stat doubled. Oh, that'll make a decent bodyguard. He taps the bare bone. Bones have a lot going for them. They're light, and they don't rot even without prep work. He isn't just raising the dead tonight. He's planning the upkeep. The blonde kid just stares at him, glowing. No wonder I never get tired of watching him. Good, good. That'll do. Shintani, I've got an errand to run. Beside him, a skeleton in pale priest's robes stands quiet in a wash of golden light. My level went up. You're a priest? The world's first necromancer just caught a notice from the system. Level up, and a priest gets summoned to go learn his divine spells. Hang on a second. What do you mean by that? Because on every piece of paper that matters, the man building armies out of corpses is filed as a holy man. He pulls his jacket straight and walks off without another word. Somebody just had their whole afternoon rearranged. What? A divine spell? You were a priest? Across the table, the man he rewound into a younger body to outlive answers without blinking. I'm actually a pretty devout believer. The skeleton floating behind him would beg to differ. They're not praying. They're building a company, intermediate healing potion, patent pending, a partner who works fast. If this succeeds, we're going to make an absolute fortune. The Pantheon. It clawed its way out of the ground after the Great Cataclysm, and ever since the faithful climate to receive divine spells and blessings from their gods. He's crouched over a spread of relics and offerings, checking them for any divine presence, and quietly noting that people will leave something valuable just lying on the ground. Then comes the part nobody advertises. We still have a long way to go. The stairs go up and up. If we climb the same amount we've already done, that means we're only halfway there. Devotion, apparently, is measured in flights of stairs. He makes it to the top, and the whole sky is watching. A vast dome opens above him, every inch of it painted in constellations, stars wheeling slow across the dark. This is the Pantheon's heart, where the constellations themselves are written into the heavens. In his last life, not one of them ever chose him. They forsook the Necromancer and left him to die. So he didn't come up here to be picked. He came to write his own name into the sky. He reaches up and touches one small point of blue light, like a star, and something answers. Behind him, an enormous horned blue giant unfolds into being, long white hair grinning ear to ear. 2 divine spells drop into his hands, Unholy Blessing and Wedge of Retribution. And his new patron giant gets a name, the Giant of the Defiant Heavens. It is very pleased with itself. This is my greatness, then, the small print. The starlight's too faint. The thing still lacks the divinity of a true constellation. It needs followers, achievements, praise. He just stares at it, the giant deflating behind him, or so it says. What kind of garbage system is this? Then a slow grin. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that I've gotten stronger. Back on the ground at dusk, somebody's been waiting for him. A blond man with freckles steps into his path. Who are you? Don't talk to me like we're friends. It's me, Satake. Remember now. He does. Satake Shigeru, the orphanage bully who used to shake the smaller kids down for whatever they had. A fist twists into his collar and hauls him up. You snitched on me to the director, didn't you? There's a glowing pendant at Satake's throat now, a crystal lotus mana necklace. He's a hunter with a guild and an item to prove it, and he wants the kid who got him in trouble to be afraid. The protagonist just looks bored, looks to me like nothing's changed. Don't get cocky with me. The punch stops dead in someone else's grip. A brown-haired man catches Satake's fist mid-swing, calm as anything. Rago Joman, a Rajiri guild, captain of the 7th Attack Squad. Stop it. We're in the middle of the city. He glances between the two of them. Yeah, you two know each other, don't you? Satake sneers down. What a cheeky brat. So the captain offers a clean fix, change locations, and settle it as an official match. An official ring. A guild gym, a wide circular floor lit gold under a dome. Satake's a hunter who wants to put his fists through the kid he used to bully. And the kid is a priest who doesn't intend to throw a single punch. Beside the protagonist, a towering blue-scaled beast rises out of nothing. I'm a priest, so you'll be fighting my proxy. Satake's grin curdles. The thing is twice his size. The system has activated. It scans the fighters, reads their defense, their health. A barrier will automatically deploy if there is any danger to life. The barrier locks in around them. It'll catch them before anyone actually dies. Which tells you exactly how this is expected to go. The protagonist stands calm, lit blue. Satake bares his teeth. Match start. A sparring hall lit cold and empty. A blue system window blinks awake over the floor, a safety net. It reads the defense and the health points of every hunter in range, and if a match runs past the edge, a barrier snaps in and stops the kill before it lands. So nobody actually dies in here. Good. Because the blonde one with the spear over his shoulder came to hurt somebody. He grins all teeth. Haha, what's wrong? Are you so scared you're about to wet yourself? His opponent doesn't flinch. A black-haired young man, calm, 2 fingers raised in a lazy come on. He doesn't say a word, he doesn't have to, because he didn't come alone. A huge slate-gray dragon-headed fighter rises at his side, clawed armor plated, a head taller than both men, blue eyes lit from within. A dead giant stands in his corner, and it is grinning back. The spear comes fast. Kairag's spear technique, second form, a named move, years of drilling packed into one thrust. The giant catches it on one open palm, sparks raining off the steel. It blocks him like swatting a fly. Third form, faster, harder, aimed to finish, reflex flash movement, and the giant simply isn't there anymore. It's already inside his guard, 2 of your best forms, answered by a shrug. What? And here's where it gets personal. The black-haired one steps in past the giant's shoulder, mouth curling. When I broke your nose, you cried your eyes out. Word for word, the bully's own cruelty, handed straight back to him. Blood on his lip, the man's face twists. You bastard. Use the same move every time, and your opponent learns it. The dragon's clawed hand swallows the man's whole head. It's over. A white flash, a spray of blood, the spear ringing loose on the stone. Down. The blond man crumples to the cracked stone, one forearm bent the wrong way, bone pushing through the skin. I'll call a priest. Stay there. He shoves the offered hand away with his good arm, tears of pain and rage in his eyes. I won't take charity from the winner. Get lost. A brown-haired teammate crouches close, worried. Star healing can't mend a break like that. There's already a priest standing right here, and the man would rather scream than be touched by the one who put him down. So Chinen reaches for something else. A mid-grade potion runs about $1 million a bottle. People at rank 3 flinch at that price. He uncorks the vial, tips it, and glowing red liquid runs over the shattered arm. He pours a fortune over a man who just spat in his face. Even the bones completely connected. I'm just way too lucky. He is lying. None of this is luck. A mid-grade potion, used like loose change on a nobody, and he wants every set of eyes in this hall to notice exactly that. They notice. A third man steps up, broad, heavy build, watching close. In your guild, you're around 3-star, right? The big man's eyes narrow. Yeah, so what? The potion wasn't generosity. It was bait. That last match was too short. I want a real fight, and the big fish bit. A guild emblem sits on Chinen's jacket now. He sets his stance. Zeeful swordsmanship, 5th form. Sharp attack. The dragon fighter trades blows with the heavy captain, fast, brutal fire, streaked, the hall flashing white with every clash. Steel into steel, over and over. But 3-star is 3-star, and it shows. A warning bar climbs across the giant's vision, ongoing damage, defense efficiency dropping. The hits start getting through. The plating cracks. The guard is failing. A body this big has a limit. It doesn't fall. The dragon throws its head back and roars, fanged jaws wide, one eye burning blue. This fight, I'll get used to this heavy body. That's the part nobody in the hall understands. He isn't here to win clean against some rank 3 captain. He's here to break in a corpse he's still learning to wear, to feel out exactly what this dead thing can do. Then I can't just stand here and do nothing. Dark teal light crawls up his arm, veins of it spidering across his open hand, his eyes flaring. Unholy blessing. The dead king's power, switched on in a sparring hall, poured through a body that isn't even his. Then I can't just stand by and watch either. Chinen throws a hand out, and the floor lights up green. Something comes up out of the dark to answer him. A holy spell. On a corpse. It pumps his summon, Fafnir, a bandaged, horned, blue, scaled dragon of a thing, 20% across the board, and drags everything that isn't undead down to meet it. Can a holy spell buff make it this strong? That's insane. The saint half and the necromancer half shaking hands. The dead get a blessing. Everyone alive in the room gets a tax. How is it? The new power I gave you, is this really just 1 star? Not bad for a low-tier constellation. We're in battle. Stay quiet. Who are you calling low-tier? His own summon talks back to him. The afterlife did not fix this thing's attitude. They go for the monster. 3 of them, fists and steel from every angle. Fafnir takes the hit standing and doesn't flinch. Here's the problem with hitting a dead thing. It doesn't care. Every blow they land, Fafnir banks it, a wedge of retribution, storing the damage to fire it all back later. They think they're winning because the meter says his defense is dropping. They're filling a debt with their names on it. That's definitely not a 1-star summon. The captain's stance buckles, the blade suddenly heavy in his hands. His arms drop. My body got heavier? That's the blessing's other half. Still working. He's been fighting at a discount this whole time and only just felt the bill. So he does the smart thing. Forget the dog. Go kill the man holding the leash. I'm faster. His eyes don't move. The captain lunges. If I can just get close, and Fafnir's clawed hand closes around him out of nowhere, stops him dead. Zeeful swordsmanship. 12th form, piercing attack. A thin blue line of light punches clean through him, and every hit they ever gave Fafnir comes due at once, reached 0. The match ends. Because this wasn't a back alley, it was a sanctioned match in the Aragiri Guild's own ring. Did you properly verify its performance? It healed a fracture instantly. Same performance as the mid-grade potions you'd find in a gate, and you can produce it. Aragiri's number 2, a 7-star named Hakuho Naruhito, holding a homemade potion that has no business existing this cheap, and the veteran captain who lost to a no-name 1-star is standing right there to take the blame for both. Demote Captain Joman to a regular member. Does Aragiri's name fall just because a long-time 3-star lost? The captain swallows it. Find the source of those mid-grade potions. Chinen, was it? Investigate him too. Understood. Back in a gym, Chinen rolls his neck, half a smile on his face. By now, the higher-ups of Aragiri know about the potion. I'm looking forward to how they react. He didn't win a duel. He sent a message and signed it with a price tag the whole guild can't ignore. Hey, he holds out a thick old book. You're a magic fighter, good at close combat and weapons, right? Why am I reading a spear skill book? Yesterday, this man was a guild captain with 3 stars and a long career. Today, he's been demoted, recruited, and handed homework by the no-name 1-star who put him on the floor. Fafnir snatches the book in one claw and cackles. Drink more protein and train. Boo-ha-ha-ha. The undead dragon is the worst personal trainer alive. Wait. Then Chinen holds the book up to the light himself, Verdian basic spear technique. The basic forms passed down in the Verdian family, even a child can learn it. 6 simple forms, and the doorway to something with a much worse name, death spiral. The data goes straight in. Skill installed, he picks up a plain practice spear, and his left hand twitches, then moves without him, settling into a stance he never trained. Well, wait. Turns out even a child can learn it also means it learns you right back. Fafnir launches off the ground, claws out, straight at him. The spear meets the dragon in a burst of blue light. Body techniques are learned by experiencing them. Now, master, let's begin practical training. Something the size of a building just took a swing at him. From the smoke, a towering armored dragon knight rises, spear in hand. Now then, master, shall we begin the combat training? That's his own summon talking. The dead thing the ring gave him calls him master and wants to spar. All you ever do is dodge. The knight points the spear level. This is actual combat training. An enemy comes at you with the intent to kill. Chinen catches his breath. Holding a grudge because I hit you earlier? The knight, deadpan. No, no, this is purely educational. Sure it is. Let's continue. He answers with a discipline he's only just started learning, Birdian-style basic spearmanship, third form. Rotational defense. Two spears ring together. He spins his shaft into the strike, and sparks bloom where the weapons bite. The knight pauses, head tilting. You blocked that perfectly. You're stronger than me, so why? Life drain activated, enhancing the physical body using absorbed energy. Blue light threads up his arms. He's burning stolen energy straight into muscle. Jaw set, breathing hard, grinning through it. It's not going to go like it did earlier. Fourth form, hilt strike. He lands it, satisfied. There's no second strike. Next is the counter, then a single tick of wrongness. The knight is already inside his guard. You only thought about defending the second strike, didn't you? You failed to block the first one. The dragon knight blurs forward, spear and tail whipping, and hurls him back across the fractured floor. The knight's eyes blaze cold blue, fangs bared. He gets dropped. He gets back up, plants his feet, drives back in with the spear leveled. Not done. The effects of life drain are still active. Get it right this time. A grill hisses, meat sears on a round Korean barbecue. A man across the table goes wide-eyed your face. What happened to you? Chinen, cheek bruised dark, deadpan. This happened. The man laughs, half impressed. To fight me to the end without fainting, that's pretty impressive. The bruises are from a dead dragon he keeps in a ring. He's not going to lead with that over dinner. He looks down at the grill, quiet, the bruise livid under the light. I can enhance my body with life drain, but it'd be a waste to just lean on simple enhancement. I didn't start this to quit right away. His eye catches the light, gold, and a slow, dark grin spreading. The man leans in, lowering his voice. Any recent news on the hunter circuit? Murders. A sealed hunter. A mysterious death 2 prefectures over, nothing he can use. None of it makes him stronger fast enough. There's the forgotten temple gate. Wakayama, a gate that never closes, monsters bleed out of it on a clock, and somebody has to keep cutting them down. Its mana is climbing toward the line where the whole thing ruptures. Still uncleared. Horizon Guild already tried and failed. Before the regression, the Phoenix Guild pulled an epic grade artifact out of this exact place. His gaze hardens. Learn the spear. Walk out with the dragon scale armor on top of it. Best possible outcome. He sets down the chopsticks. Contact the others for me. We're setting up tents tomorrow. A field outside the gate. Vans, tents, hunters everywhere. Whoa, that's a massive turnout. They came from everywhere, the 3rd-ranked Daybreak Guild, the 2nd-ranked Phoenix. For a dungeon nobody's cleared, it's a very crowded launch. Then her. A woman in dark armor and a red scarf strides into view, long black hair, blade at her hip. A future sword saint, talent that outran Phoenix's own guild master, Morita Takumi. And in the timeline he already lived, a tragic genius who lost everything in a gate, raid accident. She's the one who walks out of here with the dragon scale armor, the armor he came to take. And one more. A broad-shouldered man in a martial arts uniform, hands wrapped, grinning into the sun. Guda Gaishin, a coming powerhouse the world will learn to call Iron Fist. Every name worth knowing in one field on one day. And one regressor standing behind all of them, knowing exactly what every one of these legends is about to win. His eyes lift to the gate, gold and cold. And which prize he's going to reach first. A hand goes up, and something stands up that used to be dead. A massive draconic thing, armored, white, scaled, taller than the men around it. This is the morning routine now. Find the spirits stuck at the edge of the world, drag them back, and put them to work. No matter how many times I see it, I can't get used to it. Neither can they. Don't think I'll turn just anyone into an undead. Small mercy. They're deep inside the forgotten shrine, ruined columns half, buried in desert, blue sky cracking over toppled stone. The dragon, undead, strolls behind the party, hands on its hips. You're all so weak a zombie is the best you could hope for. The corpse has opinions. Stop worrying about useless things, and the woman of the party cuts him off, sharp. The entry requirement here is 20 star, but the clear difficulty is 3. The place rewrites itself as you walk it. The time of day, the air, the monsters, all of it changes. A death trap with the difficulty filed down to nothing for most parties. This one brought a dragon. Fafnir. I'm leaving the vanguard to you. 2 buffs land on the dead thing, impure blessing, then wedge of retribution, and it wraps itself in a black barbed aura, eyes lit blue. It's the duty of the right hand to protect a weak master. Don't you worry, just make sure you prove it's not all talk. There's something up ahead. A wet, clicking giggle answers from the dark. A robed figure steps out of the shadow, horned, a cracked skull for a face, one eye burning red, purple smoke pouring off it. Those are fallen cultists. They're formidable. Maybe we should give Fafnir backup. He does not need backup. One claw closes over a cultist's head mid-cackle and the cackle stops. Whoa! Then Fafnir crushes another skull flat, careless. If you crush their heads, I can't turn them into undead. Be careful next time. Oh, is that so? That was easy. The man is annoyed his weapon works too well. Every cracked skull is a corpse he can't put back to work. More come. A lot more. A wall of red, horned cultists pouring down the stone shaft toward the small party. He answers with the staff, the skull on top of it glowing teal in his fist. Dark and holy at once, poured into the same wound. Fallen cultists have low attribute resistance, so both halves of him hit, and both halves hurt. The buffs cash out. All of Fafnir's stats double. The cultist's wings start to drag, slowed. I forgot about life drain. Necrotic light tears the life out of the enemies and floods it back into him. He takes the fight's life and keeps it. Fafnir leans an elbow on his shoulder, fanged grin, eyes shut, pleased with himself. No thank you? Not even a word of gratitude? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Funny thing about bringing the dead back. They don't always come back quiet. He almost misses the version of this thing from before he turned the clock back. He raises the staff overhead, green light gathering. Respond to my call. A fallen cultist on the ground, convulses, energy stitching it back together. 2 passives do the quiet work. Dark Wise, every Necromancer spell costs him 10% less. Dark Rain, every corpse he keeps standing, costs him 20% less. He isn't just winning, he's running it at a discount. New knowledge engraves itself into his soul, and he eyes the dead like inventory. Fallen cultists have higher base stats than orcs, so do they make even stronger zombies? What? Everyone else is fighting for their lives. He's checking the price tags, and the corpse he's eyeing is already top shelf, an armored zombie, completion extremely high, every stat up 100. The swarm doesn't thin, it grows. Damn it, there's no end to them. Fafnir's fist erupts through a cultist in a burst of holy gold. Then the stone starts grinding deep and structural. The shield bearer grabs for him. The structure is changing. We have to get out of here, fast. He doesn't move. Wait. A quieter place surfaces in his memory. A woman with a clipboard, another with long black hair, an interview he heard a lifetime ago. 3 kinds of monster appear in the shrine. Each drops a different proof. Gather them, set them on the pillars, and you can reach the room where the boss is waiting. He isn't guessing. The first person to ever clear this place already told the world how. He just happened to be listening. In the dark, a single huge red eye splits open, veined and glowing. He stands lit blood, red from below, perfectly calm. The eye pattern. So that's the one coming out next. The thing that comes out next is an eye. Just an eye, body the size of a man, a red iris the size of a face, a skirt of black tendrils dragging the floor. Whatever you were picturing for a temple boss, it was less wet than this. It fires before anyone can move, pure red light, point blank, ripped straight out. Chinen doesn't flinch. I've already seen its attack pattern. He watched the man who cleared this place explain it a lifetime ago. He isn't reading the monster, he's remembering it. Fafnir steps in front. "Master, stay behind me. I'll block everything." The white, scaled dragon plants itself in the beam's path and eats the whole blast, and it doesn't slide an inch. Smoke hisses off its arms. The bones hold their shape. Yeah, a 2-star attack isn't melting these scales. It lowers its arms, almost bored. I put a lot of work into making it. Their monster just shrugged off the boss. And the eye knows it. For something with no mouth, it looks very nervous. Something rustles in the dark behind it. A second figure peels out of the shadow, a hunched black shape with a pale, smiling false face and hollow eyes. Across the hall, 2 strangers watch it, a scarred warrior in plate and a brown-haired woman. That mask, it's giving me the creeps. They're not Chinen's people. They're another guild stuck on the same boss, and they can feel something is off about the grinning thing. Then the warning lands. Fafnir's stats are dropping, the false mask's curse of rot, eating him the longer he stands in it. His white scales dull, dark veins crawl up his arms, tank the beam all day. A curse is a different animal. Chinen's eyes narrow, a faint teal light at his fingertips. A curse is a dark attribute, same as my spiritual power. So a stronger dark force should be able to swallow it. Unholy blessing. Necrotic power that eats curses. The cure for a dark attack is a darker one. He lifts a hand and pours teal, black energy up his arm and into the dragon. The rot reaches in. The blessing reaches back. The curse and the master's blessing meet through Fafnir's body, and the medium between them is a dragon that does not get a vote. He looks straight at the eye. Holy works wonders on dark. A grin, I am a saint after all. The mask shudders. Grr, a teal roar swallows the red. A column of green spectral energy erupts up around the eye and swallows it whole. Chinen hangs a foot off the floor inside the glare, perfectly calm, the light raining off him. When it clears, the eye and the false mask lie dead on the broken floor, the white face cracked but whole. The long, black-haired woman from his crew gives him a knowing look. That mask is a key. It's required to unlock the secret of the Forgotten Temple, a hidden room where the real boss waits. She holds up a finger. The catch: you can't destroy the proof when you kill the monster. Kill it clean. Keep the face. He did. A tiny white bearded spirit pops in at his shoulder, glasses, grumbling. Even the ghost in the ring looks impressed, and that thing tried to kill him once. Across the ruins, a second party is fighting, and front and center, a red-haired woman in armor with a red scarf, drawing a long sword. The Horizon Guild, still grinding the same gait. Her blade trails a thin red edge of wind. Pick up the pace. Yes, sir. Her eyes flick toward Chinen's group. That team, are they bothering you? Her leader curls his lip. You think a bunch of nobodies cracked a puzzle even the Horizon Guild couldn't? They're just blindly killing monsters. Blindly. The man drifting through a death gate without a single wasted step is the one they've decided got lucky. She doesn't buy it. She watches him go, pale eyes hard. Chinen turns his head, a faint smirk over his shoulder. Something tells me today won't be the last time our paths cross. Day 5 inside the Forgotten Temple, and the monsters still haven't stopped coming. They spawn out of nothing endlessly, kill one, 2 more crawl up to take its place. Most raiders would call this a death trap and run play. Chinen Ryuga is using it as a gym. One of the things on the field actually stops to talk. Unlike my contractor, you're quite brave. You have the potential of a hero, a monster handing out career advice. He doesn't answer it. Across the ruins, a hunter shouts back, I'm giving it my all here. Go support him. Life drain. He pulls the life straight out of whatever's near and pours it back into himself. At his side floats a small, white-haired familiar, a red token, and a pale mask sit on a cracked pillar. Let's clear the gate while we can. His teammates want out, sell the hall, regroup. You guys go sell the mana stones. One of them turns back. What about I'll stay and level up? Sorry for having no class, he tells them. They leave with people. He stays with the dead. Killing isn't the trick here. Behind him, a whole column of green-lit zombies climbs the temple steps, and the dragon, headed one, walks at his shoulder. The real clear condition is a pattern. Tokens, set on the right pillars, in this exact order. A triangle, a circle, a smiling face. Ho. So there's another clear condition. Fafnir, his dragon, headed undead, figures it out a step behind the boss. Zombies don't think. So he places every token himself. The strongest army on the field, and the brains running it are all his. We have to reach the next pillar. Fast, or this goes bad. An armored zombie shatters mid. Charge. From the dark, a voice. Master, I found the pillar. The dungeon's transformation spikes hard. A muscular undead slams a token flat against the stone. Placed it. The corridor detonates with light. Why can't we move forward? At this rate, then, a tall pillar lights up cold blue, the triangle and the circle and the smiling face glowing in sequence. The pattern closes. He slumps, hand to his knee, breathing hard. It finally stopped. Ha! That was close. Stone grinds open. A massive blue circle unfurls across the floor, and a stairway sinks into the dark beneath it. Master, a path to the basement has appeared. A door he opened the hard way. Let's go in. We made it. But the real fight starts now. Tall doors swing in on a black vaulted chamber. Is this the boss room? The air feels wrong. He came down here wearing the cursed ring of dark gloom, the one he bought with both eyes open. He doesn't slow down for the bad air. He raises the hand with the ring on it. Out of the dark, a roar that doesn't sound like one throat, a towering thing draped in shadow, white grinning masks budding all over it, a single huge pink eye splitting open at its center. The masked Death Guardian. Fafnir throws himself in front of his master, claws spread, and takes the charge. I won't let you touch my master. A violet beam tears past, and his guard buckles. You won't get past me. The masked horror doesn't go for the body. It reaches straight into Chinen's head. Purple energy clamps over his skull. His hand flies up. The smart play against a necromancer. Don't fight the dead man's army. Fight the dead man's mind. A smiling mask leans close. You seem to be having fun. It's lonely to have fun by yourself. Let me join in. The pressure cuts out. His head lifts, teal light coiling around him, golden eyes flat and clear, clear mind activated, complete resistance to mental attacks. It picked the one mind in this temple it cannot get into. Then a window opens in front of him. A saint's portrait, ringed in light, teal energy streaming off it. Unholy blessing. A divine spell. It floods his undead with yin mana and rots the strength out of anything still breathing. A holy power, feeding an army of the dead. He walks into a fight already half won, and he's still bored. Don't have all the fun alone, let me join too. The trait does its quiet work. The undead guardian in front of him throws every mind, trick it has, fear, madness, whatever a thing like that reaches for. Not one of them lands. His mind stays flat, resistance to all of it. The system tells him, like it's nothing. Behind him, his summon has questions. Master, you did something to him, didn't you? I just poured a little holy power into him. Holy power? Into an undead? It is the worst thing you can do to a thing like this. And that's the point. Fafnir, a roar of grinding stone, show him your power. Fafnir goes. A blur of gray muscle and teal fire slams into the masked boss, claws tearing, breath roaring. It hits like a building coming down on something that was already dead. Don't run. It's begging. It picked the wrong door to guard. A low, wet laugh. Kufu-fu-fu. Then the corpse does the one thing dragons don't expect. Dark tendrils latch onto Fafnir's arm, and the stone hide chips and cracks where the thing grips it. What? It puts itself back together. Every chunk Fafnir tears off, it grows back, the torn flesh knitting shut around a red eye that just keeps staring. A regenerator, fast, ugly, very hard to kill, the kind of fight that drags on until somebody runs out of stone and Fafnir is the one taking the damage now. So the master stops watching. He steps in himself. Teal shards of bone bloom out of the air around his open hand, sharpening to points. Bone control, the Necromancer's own power on the fight now, not the summons. He lays that glowing hand flat against the thing that won't die. A single deep crack. Then everything goes quiet. Retribution's seal has been released. It was temporarily sealed. Something he'd been keeping locked. He unlocks it. A roar of teal energy eats the whole room. The thing that couldn't be torn apart tears apart anyway, dissolving in a flood of green-black light while his fist stays clenched in the glare. The horned mask cracks, falls back. The soft pink core underneath it is finally exposed and finally dying. Gained experience and leveled up. Level 6. He stands beside Fafnir over the corpse. Phew, not bad for a warm-up. Maybe because it was a boss, but I gained 2 levels. He killed a thing that couldn't die, and his takeaway is the experience. A vast cathedral hall, tall stained glass windows, sunlight on stone, one altar glowing red at the far end. He crosses it, a small skull charm swinging from his jacket, Fafnir at his shoulder, because the boss was never the target. The altar was, his hand closes on a set of dark dragon scale plate, the black band of the ring of dark gloom on his finger. The armor flows onto him. This item is even better than I imagined. Dragon scale armor, transcendent grade, no restrictions. More durability than it should physically have. Physical resistance 12, magic resistance 7. Agility up 10%. Fafnir leans into him, almost fond. Why? I just wanted to make you stronger, that's all. He raises a hand wrapped in teal light. We got what we came for. Let's head back. Fafnir breaks apart into ribbons of energy and is gone. Outside, open sky, daylight, 2 hunters staring at something none of them can explain. The forgotten temple was cleared? No way. Behind them a huge blue gate spins, 2 carved dragons coiling around its mouth. Apparently the boss was suddenly defeated. Did Phoenix do it? They're already handing the credit to the famous names. Not one of them looks at the kid walking straight past. He steps out of the gate, hands in pockets, the skull charm bouncing on his belt. A friendly hunter lights up. Chinen-san, you're safe. Everyone's searching for whoever cleared it. Did you do it? Chinen doesn't blink. If they had, they'd already be holding a press conference by now. Behind the words, the little skull charm swings from his bag, and the friend's eyebrows knot into a question he can't quite ask. The man who emptied the temple shrugs, lies, and keeps walking. Nobody's looking for him yet. That's exactly how he wants it. 2 stone dragons the size of buildings, a portal still burning blue between them, and the man who walked out of all of it alone. They call it the Forgotten Shrine. Until today, nobody had cleared it. You're the one who cleared the Forgotten Shrine? I got what I wanted. Let's head back. He's not taking a cut. He's not going to the media. He won't even ask what the boss dropped. For the man who soloed the thing, he is remarkably uninterested in the thing. Then the next crew shows up wanting the same answer. Are you the ones who cleared the Forgotten Shrine? I'm not going to say it twice. Different day. A workshop, and it has been absolutely wrecked. What on earth did you do? I knew this was your doing, Mr. Chinen. I figured as much. Just about time, isn't it? This is the alchemist Ryuga locked down, and his life has become a siege. Every day, people from all over, not just Aragiri, have been hounding me to sell them potions. His phone will not stop. Can I buy a potion? I'd like to make a bulk purchase. I really thought I was going to die. And? Was it a nuisance? No way. It served as great promotion, but still, the results are what matter. Translation: he torched the man's quiet life, made him famous overnight, and is calling that a favor. The complaints stop the second business comes up. What's the status? The patent for the mid-grade potion's been filed. Mass production soon. Oh, and the item you ordered has arrived. An orb. A darkness orb, black, cracked, veined with dark light. Mana amplified for a dark mage or something close to 1. Orbs are rare, must have been hard to find one. It helped that dark mage is an unpopular class. Nobody wants the cursed sounding class. Which is exactly why the tool meant for it was sitting unclaimed, waiting for the one man who came back knowing what it's worth. The big one has a name. Slate scales. A long dragon's skull, 8 feet of muscle that takes one look at Ryuga and goes tense. Fafnir. Stand right there. Are you about to pull off something strange again? Green light off his hand. The orb in Fafnir's claws. Fafnir blurs one strike, and the whole workshop rattles. Speed seems to have improved now that the synchronization rate is up. He's not summoning a monster. He's tuning one, feeding the orb in to lock a soul tighter into a dragon's corpse, and the corpse moves faster for it. You absolute demon. Yeah. Exactly. There was a second body on that shrine floor. The boss. A tall corpse behind a white mask, black tendrils pooling under it. So I'm thinking of making a golem instead. Most people loot a dungeon. He files patents and goes corpse shopping. Ground Zero. A district that's been lawless since the Great Change. Broken escalators, a collapsed mall, dust hanging in the dead air. He and Fafnir walk up to a cracked neon sign, Bar Milky Way. I didn't know you liked vintage bars. Inside, a man on the floor backs away from them. Who are you? They're not here to drink. They're hunting a name. Madame Shuri, a broker who mediates the underworld's deals and built her whole business in this ruin. She escaped over 30 minutes ago. My people are tracking her now, so he gets the rest of it the quiet way. One hand closed around a skull, purple mist bleeding off it. They run her down a narrow alley and drag her back by the hair. You sure made us work for it. She whips a slim dagger up between them, red, clawed, teeth bared. You'll get hurt if you underestimate me. Why don't you find out for yourself if it's a bluff? She lunges, a red slash, and the gang's leader recoils. She is not the kind of prey that goes quietly. Behind the standoff, a black-haired figure walks in, hands in pockets, like he owns the rubble. Her eye catches him over the blade. Someone new just stepped into her fight. His head tilts. A slow, dark grin. Are you putting on an interesting show? A crowd's gathering in the alley. Not the helpful kind. Into the middle of it walks a kid with his hands in his pockets, looking bored. A thug snarls, blade out. Mind your own business, outsider. The purple-haired one smirks down at him. Oh, you're actually pretty nice. Giving me a warning. Don't get cocky just 'cause you brought a summon along. A pause. Get him. They throw the first hit. The next one brings fire, a wall of it. Both arms roaring, one wrapped hand wreathed in flame, swung point blank. Something stands up behind him in the smoke. Horns, eyes burning cold blue. The fire breaks against him and dies, and he hasn't moved, hasn't a mark on him. He's unharmed. The fire thug stares at his own hands. My fire isn't working. What the hell is going? That's the thing about throwing fire at a necromancer. The dark doesn't burn, it eats. One black blur and the thug's words stop mid-sentence. His summon handles the rest, a massive blue draconic thing, armored, long-jawed, that drives a fist through the last man and blows him off his feet in a burst of light. He walks off, the alley wrecked behind him. The world is a big place, remember that? The woman they cornered is still standing. A hard, handsome face, a wine glass in her hand, and a bruise blooming dark across one bare shoulder, a burn. Her bodyguard, gray-haired vest and bow tie, reaches her a second too late. "Madame, I apologize. What happened here?" "They attacked us out of nowhere." She looks past them at the kid and the dragon, things standing in the rubble. "And who are those people?" "I came for a drink." Casual, like he didn't just turn 3 men into a warning. He raises one hand toward her wounded shoulder. "Hold still." Pale light threads off his fingers, and the burn closes and fades. A necromancer's drain run backwards, poured into her instead of pulled out. She stares at her healed skin, then at him. "Are you a priest?" "Close enough. Let her think it." Turns out the woman owns a bar. The Milky Way. He slides onto a stool. Milk on the rocks. She sets down a tall glass of dark coffee instead, amused. "If you don't like it, I can serve you coffee. What's that, some new kind of joke?" "So, what brings you here?" A gold and black card glints in the light. "I want a ticket to the underground auction." Her eyes narrow. She holds out a black membership card instead. "I'll give you a card instead of a ticket. Show them that." Over in the corner, the blue dragon is sitting at the bar sipping wine, humming to itself. Even the dead guy's having a drink. She leans on the counter. "Anyway, what are you looking for?" "A mana engine. 3-star output or higher." His face goes thoughtful. No one in Ground Zero has one but the Red Spider. If he can't get it at the auction, does he just have to clear a gate that might drop one? What a pain. She leans closer, a small smile. "Why don't you take on a request?" A window opens between them. "Client, Madam Shuri, type gate clear. Difficulty C reward. 1 MIS, 4 mana engine, objective the ant cave. Special note currently controlled by the Red Spider as a bloodstone supply source." So her name is Shuri, and she wants the same crew that just put a burn on her shoulder, wiped off her map, clear their gate, take their engine. Terrifying woman. The blood's barely dry and she's already drawing up the receipt. A slow grin starts. "You're asking me to take a request against the Red Spider. Mess with them, and I'll have a target on my back. She doesn't blink, and I want the Red Spider gone." She sets a glowing device on the bar, the MIS-4, light pulsing inside the glass. It's top tier, max output's exactly what you're after. Consider it a bonus. I'll throw in 10 kilos of arachne thread. His eye flares cold blue over the rim of his glass. "Not bad at all, you've got a deal." A fenced compound, ringed in razor wire, headstones scattered inside, and at its heart a blue gate, yawning open. Light blooms across the whole field, lunar sorcery, butterfly's dream. A single glowing butterfly drifts past, and a line burns into the air beside it all. Communication and movement skills are disabled. A blonde guard lifts his radio, a cold-eyed shadow rising behind him. "Hmm?" No response. West side, all clear. How's the east? Butterflies settle silently over the men. All clear. Then the screaming starts. Blood across everything, a guard flung backwards, something clawed on top of him. "Enemy attack! Hurry! Contact headquarters!" A man slams his radio. Nothing answers. "I can't get through." "What the... Wooag!" No signal. No running. The butterflies made sure of both before anyone felt the first claw. His silhouette stands at the fence, the slaughter behind him. And somewhere else entirely, a forest in gold light, ripples spreading on still water, a sword standing point, down in the grass with a faint blue glow, a swordswoman in teal leather stops cold, her hand half raised to her mouth, like she felt the dead stand up. A blue gate. He walks out of it like he's done this 1,000 times, because the thing standing at his back isn't a teammate. It's the Necromancer King, looming in the glow, and only he can see it. Today's monster is a slime. A slime? Cute. Huh? Then how do you kill it? When it spreads, destroy the core. Red slime. Danger rank. 3-star. 3-star for a blob. A huge gray horned beast stands beside him, and a small dragon head perches on his shoulder. The beast's fist drives straight through the slime. It bursts in a spray of red. Pretty simple. Here's the problem. A slime doesn't leave a corpse. No body, just splatter on the stone. And a necromancer with no corpse to raise has a workaround. If there's no corpse, I'll use the soul instead. He lifts one hand. A glowing red soul peels up out of the puddle and drifts toward his open palm. Come. It comes. And there it is. The whole joke of his life, in one line. A saint leveling up through summoned beasts. A saint, the holy class. Healer, blessing, light, leveling up by yanking souls out of dead monsters and packing them into a horned dragon that won't stop grinning about it. As if that had happened. He doesn't even look up. Elsewhere. Men in suits, one with maroon hair and a red spider crest stitched on his lapel. Bloodstone collection is going smoothly. Each one's worth 1.2 million, so make sure nobody interferes. Like last time, he grits his teeth. Getting interrupted during the madam job cost us. Don't screw this up. The line goes to dead static. He waits. Nothing. No response. Behind the suits, a skeleton straightens up out of the dark. Skeletons. Were there even skeletons in here? Green ghosts bleed up out of the floor. Grinning. Ghosts? Their comms didn't fail. Something walked in behind them and started taking the room apart. A line of red spider hunters slam their palms down, and orange circles bloom. Fireball. They cook the first skeleton where it stands. It's on fire. It's also still laughing, a dry, rattling laugh through the flames, jaw wide open. 4 more streams of fire tear across the floor and converge on one skeleton crouched behind a shield. 3 star hunters, bone alone won't hold against that. The ground shakes. A giant clawed foot crashes down. The gray dragon beast charges into the firing line like a truck. Eat this! It bulls straight through the fireball, shield up. Fire doesn't stop it. Bone spear, a black spear of bone lances out of its hand and the hunters go down. Nicely done. The maroon-haired man clenches his jaw, sweating. So you're the one who interfered during the madam job too. Out of the dark, the man behind all of it strolls in, jacket open, a faint smirk, a skeleton at his shoulder. They finally meet the one who's been ruining their week. The hunters regroup. Keep the lizard busy. The rest of us hit the caster all at once. Take down the summoner and it's over. Reasonable. Kill the puppeteer. The puppets drop. The dragon beast clamps onto a hunter's arm, shield up, and locks him in place. I can't move. A hunter throws his hand up, and a ring of fire snaps shut around the necromancer's feet. Quick reload, red bind, they chain him in fire, and the whole squad surges in at once. Now one target, lock down everything they have. He stands inside the burning ring, perfectly calm, watching them come. But this is still within expectations. They sprung the trap. He let them. He's known how this ends since before they moved. A grinning ghost surges up around him, huge and laughing. A hunter charges through it, screaming, die, bone control and bone spear, fused into one. He drops into a stance, a long spear of bone in both hands, eyes flat and hard. The man who raises the dead just picked up a weapon of his own. He launches forward through the green light, ghosts streaming off his shoulders. The puppeteer the squad came to kill steps in to do the killing himself. His enemy came expecting a saint. He got the other thing. 2 fighters, 1 floor. Did you really think a mage could win against a martial artist in a straight fight? The blonde comes in textbook, clean form 4. Pommel strike, he swings like a man who has already counted the win. His partner piles on behind him, furious, hammering away, mock me. And the man they're swinging at hasn't broken a sweat. These two were stalling me with child's play. I lured them in on purpose. The blonde's eyes go wide. Wait a minute. Like hell I'd wait. Something at his back unfolds. Black and purple energy boils up off armored plates, and the blonde recoils. And lie. Lie. Not armor, a companion. A towering red dragon man rises behind him, all muscle and horns, and one clawed hand closes around the blonde fighter's skull. The fight is over before the blonde finishes his sentence. The lavender-haired one is on the ground, staring up. "Are you okay, master? Even if those were Fafnir's movements." "Of course I am. Fafnir does the heavy lifting. The master just points." He turns to a body cooling on the cracked floor. "All right. Next, the gate." He looks down at the corpse. It'd be a waste. I'll use him. Green light pours from his open palm and snakes into the dead man. "Come forth." Bone resettles. Joints lock. From the dirt, a gray armored warrior drags itself upright. Shield, axe, two cold blue eyes lighting in a dead face. A minute ago, it was trying to kill him. Now it stands guard. He doesn't bury his kills. He recruits them. A field of corpses and dropped weapons under a thin moon, the gray warrior on its feet among them. Receipt time. The red spider was weaker than I expected. The boss, too, finished it all. Then, flat, already thinking 3 steps ahead. They'll have an escape plan ready. They'll move soon. You know me so well. Let's get going. Daylight, an industrial yard. A red-haired woman at a console, the man facing her, his undead at his back. Here's your promised reward. A hulking machine rolls out, a next-gen mana engine, paid in full. Find any defects later, I'm not covering them. No warranty on a machine traded between 2 people this comfortable with corpses. A workshop. A blonde man in a coat throws both arms up. "Chinen, San, I'm so glad you're safe. If you told me you'd come back as a ghost, I'd believe it. It was ground zero out there. Deadpan, a green wisp curling at his side. Unfortunately, I didn't become a ghost. A body pinned spread eagle to a stone slab, bound in green threads. Instead, I caught one." The gray dragon, undead, leans its snout right into the coatman's face. "Spare me." His soul nearly leaves his body, ghost faces swimming behind him. For a man who builds weapons for a necromancer, he is remarkably afraid of the dead. The man is already walking off. Well then, I'm going to sleep. The waking world dissolves. Black, then a sky thick with stars. Entering someone else's dream without permission is bad manners, isn't it? A line threads through the dark. Kronos. "You have arrived, my lord." Moving to the star sanctuary of the target constellation. A glowing cathedral of pale stone hangs in a sea of stars, one small figure standing before it. The pantheon is where every constellation gathers. A star sanctuary is the private world of just one. This is where you come to stand in front of a god and ask for its hand. A colossal bearded giant mainstreaming fills the sanctuary, and the man stands tiny at its feet, head barely level with its knuckles. The giant who defies heaven. To earn its protection, he has to raise its divinity, feed the god until it notices him. Hand to his chin, calm under the giant's stare. I can't exactly get a holy relic right away. Then he looks up at the immense temple sprawling into the dark. So I'll build it a temple. The man who is trying to mint his own god just found the first brick.